Welcome to FX Street, Currencies in Play, brought to you by Royal Financial Trading. I'm joined by Eddie Tolfik, who is Head of FX at ADM Investor Services. How are you today, Eddie?
It's really warm outside. It's really, really warm, and I'm pretty good. I'm glad because I'm here slightly air conditioned, but it's really warm outside.
Not so warm for the pound at the moment, though.
No, Carney seems to have put a little bit of a kibosh on it, or that's a technical term, but basically he seems to have actually put a top for the market at the moment. It does look as if it's going to be heading a little bit further south.
But I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, we know that. I mean, basically, since he's became governor, he's wanted rates to be low, and he's got an agenda there. So all this is just telling us what we already know, isn't it, really?
But he's basically said it's not the time to raise interest rates. He doesn't actually want to lower them necessarily, I don't think. He's actually said it's not the time to raise interest rates. It's the situation with wage rises and with inflation. That'll come in time, I think, but it's not just there at the moment.
Okay, well, let's have a look at if we can have a look at the chart, the daily chart of sterling after this, where, as we just said, pound offered on Carney rate rise rejection, then yen under pressure as Treasury yields
that's been ongoing for quite a while now as well. We've seen the dollar moving up quite nicely against the yen as well.
All right, so sterling here below 127. This is about the weakest we've had. I mean, it was around these levels when we were still overnight on the 8th of June, the election night, that time. So at the lowest levels, what do you expect to happen here?
Well, I'm very interested. The day before yesterday, or rather, sorry, yesterday's actual action was a key reversal down. And I think you're going to see a possible test down to that 126.30 area, which is the main area of support that we're seeing in the short term. But there's other support, which is at 125.76 and 125.17. I think there's an opportunity for them to get tested at the moment. The trend at the moment is still for a market, as you can see, heading down gradually. It's 3 steps down, 1 to 2 steps up, 3 steps down. And I don't think there's anything in there that we're actually going to find unusual in that sort of movement. We've had 2 big legs down and then a bit of resurgence, none of which has gone beyond 50%. It's just literally just managed to get up to there and then come back off again.
Okay, and with those long wicks towards 128 were a giveaway ahead of time, weren't they?
Yeah. They're pushing up, but they've not managed to get new highs.
Okay, let's just have a look at dollar yen. We're trying to get that as well. Here, I suppose it's through the 111 quite comfortably. What's next here?
Well, we have medium moving average resistance to that 111.83, which we're going to be testing right now in the next few hours or whatever. Then there's a little bit of stuff around 112, and then there's a whole area of nothing till about 113.40. So it's fairly free ground. You can see that from there. That there was on that big move down we saw on the 17th of May, or I think it's the 17th of May, 16th of May. There was nothing really there. So there's a big opportunity for it to go up to about 113.5. It will still be bearish because all the highs are lower. We've not made a new low as such, but it does look as if it's still trending down.
Right, so a possible no man's land, just a straight move.
An opportunity to a dead cat bounce in a otherwise bearish market potentially.
Okay, well, let's have a look at our trade of the day if we can. So euro dollar bearish price, RSI divergence, rising trend line breached, downside break from sideways channel likely, sell the daily close below 111.32, objective 109.80, stops above 111.70. So this situation is like you're stopping yourself into a possible trade here if we break down.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a channel line. If you get out of that channel on the downside, you're going to see a movement down to about the 109.80 area. Would not be unreasonable to see that. We've seen enough action on the upside, and every time the action's been on the upside, it's open, gone up, and then come straight back off and close low on that day. So though the highs are slightly higher than each other, they're only there temporarily.
But where we got into this action here now, let's say 111.30-ish and then 113, and that's the range. I mean, that's you could actually just wait for those two levels to break and then go for the winning direction as well, couldn't you?
You need confirmation, obviously, in that particular instance, but that would be ideal. If you still believe that the actual angle is going to be carrying on, obviously you trade within there. Maybe look at options in there to try and do that, because the volatility is going to be coming down quite a bit. But volatility is pretty low anyway these days. So.
Right, and do you think that the Fed's talk about, I think Evan's saying that there may not be a rate rise until the next one until December. Do you think that's been factored in here, or that might just tip this over?
If he's not going to have one till December, then obviously this is going to be hopefully pushing the euro higher. But it's not, and there's still a long time between now and then. There's a lot of things are happening at the moment. We're having a rise in tension still going on at the moment, and so why not see some action into the dollar, even from the euro side of things? It seems at the moment, if you take into account the yen and also the action in the euro, the dollar is starting to get in a bit of inflow coming in from all the other safe haven currencies.
Okay, let's go for the trade positions. It's always good to see other people's homework. So let's say much more on the long side now with euro dollar. Does that surprise you?
To be honest, I think it's closer to parity than that. I would have said it's 50-50 more or less. I wouldn't necessarily say it's that. Obviously, sterling on the upside, I'm a bit surprised at that. The dollar yen looking lower. Really? All right. Dollar Swiss, I haven't really given that much attention, but if you're going to be playing euro dollar, why is the dollar Swiss so much that it's going to be pushing it down? Or maybe there's some action in the euro Swiss, but then you'd also see that in euro dollar and euro sterling. Dollar CAD, well, yeah, that's fairly obvious. The Aussie, that seems reasonable, given the recent action, especially last night with the banks being downgraded by Moody's. Euro sterling, again, that's not a very active market, but it's more towards the downside than not, I think.
It seems more an emotional trade there, not really looking at...
emotions, what makes this market. It's the different people's emotions and their ideas of what they see in the next few weeks, months, days.
Okay, let's...
hours even.
Go on to the end of this show here. So we've already had the confession of Mark Carney on the interest rate front. Bank of Japan meeting minutes, the only other thing left ready to go.
Well, I think there is one other thing which I'll take out, which is that the MSCI rebasing of their stock indexes, or their inclusion, the on-land Chinese stocks are coming up yet again to whether they be included or not. And it seems to be closer now than it ever has been. I think it's the fourth time it's having a crack at it. That could be actually quite interesting to see the reaction in the dollar yen after that, the Chinese yuan, the movement in that particular currency. Because if that is, you're going to see flows coming into the Chinese market potentially.
Right, so that does affect the FX. I saw the story, but I think it was an FX story.
Exactly. If you see flows in the yuan, then obviously you're going to see a reaction in the Asian currencies, Korean won, Japanese yen, Vietnamese dong, various other, Philippine peso even. There'll be sort of a rebasing of some of those currencies because of that one thing.
Well, that's it for FX Street. Currencies in Play, brought to you in association with the Royal Financial Trading. Thank you to Eddie Topfik,
Thank you
head
very
of
much.
FX at ADM Investor Services.
Thank you.